effectively to begin with. And, you know, if he's keeping up wards, he's doing half his job right there. Half pressing up, of course. Sandwraith picked up that Sword of the High. He doesn't quite have the money for the Rock of Brilliance recipe yet. He's about 300 gold short, but I think we'll be seeing that shortly. And Rexy, has he picked up a portal key yet? Still no portal key or a bottle on Behemoth, so that's one worrying lack of fun that we'd like to see. It's very rare that you'll see a Behemoth in competitive go this long without picking up a portal key. I'm sure Rexy knows that he needs to pick that up.
But he has picked up an intelligence steam boots, which is so.
Well, through particular fault of his own, Rexy's got, you know, no kills and 6 deaths, because obviously he's been the one walking in and ulting every time, so in a sense it's hardly really surprising that he's got some deaths. And I'm sure he's a good player. We've seen him play very well in the past, and I'm fairly sure he knows he needs to pick up that portal key as soon as possible. Whether we can see a gust onto someone, Zephyr, yeah, Sandwraith, oh, it's initiation by the Legion onto the helmet. Vindicator ultimate used, and now 2 deaths on the helmet. All 3 heroes fairly low. Well played by the Legion there. Mania comes in onto Trixie with the Pharaoh ultimate, combined with good play by Zephyr. He's able to kill there. Hattie actually going down as well, but using that token of life. Hat trick to Sandwraith, obviously the Legion will go with that. And now Mania on Pharaoh. Should be looking to back off, only 300 life left, but Hanny's going in, picks up a kill on Vindicator. I don't think that there is time to leave him, fires a rocket in onto Dookie, and now Dookie might be going down as well, so this chase by Hanny should be killed by the next gust if he can. However, stun out by Behemoth, good use of stun there, and now a TP onto Hanny by Thunderbringer, who may have to pull back with every spawn, I'm not sure. I don't think he's going to be able to nuke Zephyr down though. Not Zephyr stun, Behemoth stun used by Fisher. Bit of nukes coming out from Thunderbringer, but I think Zephyr should escape here using that gust just to make sure. And now Mania coming in, uses the Wall of Mummies just to make sure, but he's going to be nuked hard by both Thunderbringer and Chipper, and not terribly sensible play by them there by Mania, to be honest. He has allowed them to pick up a kill on Thunderbringer, but had he just stood ahead of the Legion and used his Wall of Mummies, then denied one and run away, he'd have achieved exactly the same thing, but without dying. So, bit of a missed call by Mania there. Actually, speaking of which, Mania's not had a particularly good game, if you look at him. He is known as an M. He is known for being a good MYM player, but on the other hand, 366 are really the stats you're looking for. You'd think he would at least pick up more assists than that, especially considering that his rocket does basically hit everyone anywhere near attack, giving an assist on that. But I don't know. What do you think of the way that so far?
I just think Hellborn, even though the kills don't really have a big difference, Hellborn's just been, I can even see that Hellborn's just been a lot more dominant this game compared to Legion, and
well, I think you're definitely right that the Hellborn have certainly been the dominating force in this game. Now we can see a Fisher trap onto Hanny, but I don't, yeah, he's a bit of a gap at the end of it, he's able to walk free, but yeah, you're definitely right that the Hellborn are the ones who dominated this game, and to be honest, I think the team stats, if not the actual kills line, really reflects that. They're 5 towers ahead,
yep.
And about 16,000 gold, so in a sense everything actually should be there. But I think Sandwraith's farm was perhaps a bit delayed, though he has not picked up his mod, which perhaps I mentioned earlier, and I think that it's definitely the case that the Legion have paid the price for that. Had Sandwraith been a bit more selfish, looked to farm that mock a little bit earlier, they might have suffered in the earlier team fights, perhaps given up another tower, but I think they'd be doing better now. Do you want to maybe take a look at the items, if we missed anything?
Yep, well, I'm just wondering what Sandwraith would get next after taking a mock.
Well, he's
what do you
got
think
1,000 gold. Oh, he's actually just ganking an event here. Yeah, good kill picked up by, oh, hang on, Hanny though in the middle. Going for Savage Sick, I'm not quite sure what that equates to in Dota terms, it's not a dot life, but it's nearly there. And yeah,
Savage
Hanny
Sick is wicked sick.
That's
a 7 kill streak.
Ultimate, but it misses. But no, Hanny using a gust there, and HoN God picking up a kill on Budgie with his auto attack. But yeah, I think, to be honest, the Hellborn team looking in a very dominant position. I think Hanny's probably picked something else up, but I'm not entirely sure yet. Axe of the Malphite now picked up on Zephyr, so looking for either a Symbol of Rage or a Bearman's Heart, not sure on that. And the Hellborn team, a lot of pings going on in the secret shop area. They've caught Shut Up on Sandwraith out. Demented Shadow and Pharaoh now chasing him into the woods, but a good dupe by Shut Up there. He's got his sand dagger up in about a second, so he's probably going to escape, doesn't even need it. Manages to run away, however. Meanwhile, without Sandwraith, the Hellborn have been able to push these melee barracks, and to be honest, I'm favouring the Hellborn at this point. It's definitely true that MSI have got a superior turtling team, but I don't think that Sandwraith is farmed enough, and I think that Hanny has an absolutely massive farm advantage on him, about 80 creep kills, which works out about 150 gold per minute difference once you count the towers. And I think that, to be honest, the superior pushing by the Hellborn is probably going to be the deciding factor in this game.
I'm just pretty impressed with how Hanny he wasn't really farmed early in, because he was actually doing pretty bad in terms of farming, just even 10 minutes in, and then he just at about 15 minutes he just turned it up, and he started farming like crazy, and just farmed up all of his items and started to dominate later.
And so that's some good creep kills there by Hanny, and from that point it's been a bit ridiculous. He's actually managed to move up to 450 gold a minute, despite not having the best of starts. I mean, obviously a lot of that is due to the fact that the Hellborn have managed to push a lot of towers, but I don't think we can deny the fact that Hanny's done a very good job of farming himself as well. And now the Hellborn going in onto Kongor, but being caught out by the Sandwraith ultimates, so they're having to back off there. And now the Legion team might be initiating here. Hanny going in, catches Zephyr. Pharaoh misses an ultimate, but I think the chip's going to go down anyway, and yeah, pretty much a solo kill by Hanny onto Chip, who's now chasing after Thunderwraith. Meanwhile, in the middle, Shut Up, caught between 3 Hellborn players in a bit of a sticky situation, and that's another kill on Sandwraith, picked up by Pharaoh. So, 2 more kills for the Hellborn in this team fight, and I think we've pretty much reached the point where this game's beyond MSI's reach. Hellborn, I think, looking to take Kongor now. They'll probably be able to push something, perhaps a tower or a set of barracks, or maybe both, with this token, considering the Sandwraith's out for another minute, and I think at that point it's going to be pretty much indefensible for MSI. You can already see by the world tree that the creeps are already pushing it fairly hard, and I don't think the situation is going to get any better once KDE have finished killing Kongor and start pushing the barrack.
Looks like they're going to push another barrack spot. I think that will do it, and for MSI.
But yeah, so while we're essentially at the end of the cast, who do you think are the standout players for each side?
I think obviously Hanny's done really well, but what we really haven't talked about all that much is how good Defiler has been, really, and how good of a pick Defiler really is, and how Defiler really helped push for Hellborn, which is really what won them the game, really.
I think you're definitely right there. Defiler and Slither have both had good games. Magix did a fairly, I think you'd have to say it's a fairly poor job supporting Zephyr in that top lane, to be honest, but they were up against a fairly difficult double-ranged combination. And obviously since then he's managed to do his primary objective as a support hero, which is to not die too much. And although he hasn't managed to pick up any major support items, he's kept up wards fairly consistently, and also used his abilities fairly well, so he's done a decent job as Demented Shadow, but not perhaps stand out. And Mania, the one player I'm not so sure about, I mean, I know he does come from way, but on the other hand, we've actually seen quite a lot of missed Pharaoh ultimates this game. He's got the most deaths of anyone on the Hellborn, and he's only just picked up level 1 of Puzzle Blocks at 40 minutes in, which is perhaps what we'd be looking for. Well, but now we can see Hanny basically tanking the tower, and whatever Legion can be bothered to throw at him. There's no creep wave there, but Defiler ultimate pushing that tower down extremely quickly. Pharaoh initiating onto Thunderbringer. Vindicator ultimate goes out. I don't think the Legion are going to be terribly keen on initiating here. Shut Up picking up with an ultimate Shaman, as well as a kill on Pharaoh. 2 more kills potentially on Defiler and Zephyr. They're both very